ones that are looking around for something to give their life meaning and purpose, and are not satisfied with just the status quo. They know there's got to be something more, and that's when they start searching in all forms of spirituality, Course in Miracles, other spiritual paths. Some of them go there. I work with a lot of people that have been to India and different ashrams and have really been, sitting at the master's feet and doing all those things, and yet they haven't really got what they're looking for. There's a woman here, and she goes to Morji all the time. Okay. And she says it was the ashram, but she's not satisfied with what she has. And so those are the people I call awake in the journey. Those are the ones that are starting to search for truth.
Right.
Starting to really search for what's real.
So they're like the ones that are listening to YouTube song. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. That's
exactly. Those, and that's the quest that people begin to look for something, and most of the religions or spirituality or paths are looking outside of yourself. They're looking for something outside of me to make me feel whole or complete or free or happy. There's so many misconceptions about being awake. Like, I'm going to be so happy all the time. Everything's going to go my way. I'll be in control of everything. No, not that way. It's a place of total surrender. So
let me, Jill, hold on, I'm asking that. So in that place of total surrender, right? Mm-hmm. Your sense of joy is still there, regardless of what's happening, isn't it?
Well, and we do a whole meditation on that in the journey.
Right. So, I mean, for you, like, life happens, and you're surrendering to the flow, but you're okay with it.
It's perfect.
If it's perfect, right.
My car broke down, and I couldn't get to a mechanic, and we had to move. And I sat with it, and I said, okay, what do we do now? We're supposed to move on the 7th, and it's the 6th. And I received an idea, and I implemented that idea, and the car made it all the way to here. 4.5 hour drive on all kinds of wild, bumpy, curvy Costa Rican roads. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm here, I could take the parts I needed, and I went to town and got the parts I needed to do it better.
Right.
And I haven't done that yet. The woman that has this place gave me permission to use her little pickup anytime I need it. And so I've been able to use that to go in and out of town and do different things. And we don't go to town very often. There's a little, it's called a mini super, but it's a little convenience store down the street. We can get eggs and coffee and those things. And then there's a little farmer's market on Tuesday. We can get eggs and vegetables and, locally grown stuff. And, we can do that. And there's all kinds of stuff in the greenhouse. People can pick and eat and cut up and make salads and whatever they want to do. So everything's always provided. And I just got the part I need. It's in the steering mechanism, and one of the arms came loose, the steering. And so when it came loose, the wheel goes that way when you're going forward. So it's kind of a weird feeling.
Yeah.
And so I'll jack it up and I'll play with it. And put that wheel on over there. it'll be fine, and then we'll have two vehicles.
So the difference I feel is that you have this experience where your car breaks down, and you just present, you get an idea, you implement it, you go on. Whereas other spiritual people on the waking in the dream are busy going, what does it mean that my car is broken down? How does that resemble? They're always looking outside themselves still instead of just being present to the experience?
Well, this place of total surrender was, in my experience, very few understand, because surrender is just relinquishing the control, the delusion that I have any control over it.
Right.
You know, and so, and this idea of control permeates those that are asleep in the dream and those that are awake in the dream. They want to control things.
Right.
And that control starts when you're a little bitty baby. You know, you've been inside mommy's womb, and you've never peed or pooped, and you never got hungry, and all of a sudden you're hungry, and you go, wah! And mom or somebody comes and gives you something to drink, some milk or something, or a tip.
Right.
And so you say, that's how I get what I want. You know, and so we learned how, we think we can manipulate the world and God to get what we want. A place of total surrender is I have no real wants. I may have some preferences.
Right.
You know, and I use this when I'm working with people, is I like pork chops. But when I came to a place where I was able to really surrender pork chops and say within myself, if I never have another pork chop, I'll still be perfect. It's all perfect.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden I'd have all the pork chops I want, and they're not that important. Because I have no real attachment to pork chops. I enjoy them when I get one, but if I don't have them, okay. It's okay.
Right.
So this is what a lot of people don't understand about this whole thing about awakening is I really don't make decisions anymore.
So you're not sitting down and planning your next year like so many people are?
Well, that's the subject of my book, is if I had tried to plan what was going to happen, I would have been a total failure. I would have been, and so this whole way of being is something that I learned by experiencing. You know, I used to get I'd wake up with this real stiff neck, and I knew it wasn't because I slept on the pillow.
Right.
And so I said, I wonder what this is about. One day I got this idea, this thought, this voice, or whatever it was, that said, stop resisting. Surrender.
Right.
And then so whenever I woke up with a stiff neck, I said, what is it I need to surrender? You know, and it would be clear, and I became very willing, very soon, real quickly, to surrender whatever it was. Whatever thought, belief, person, situation, desire,
right,
whatever that was, I was able to just say, okay, I let that go, and I'm fine with that. And the stiff neck would go away.
Right.
So what I teach about divine health is real similar to that. And I get a lot of controversy about this because everybody's got their own healing modality, you know, and they have all these beliefs about health. And I went through a period in the 90s of wanting to be, you know, a health nut and organic and take supplements and, you know, stay away from certain food and dogs and all that stuff. And what I realized finally was that stuff is just all in my head. It keeps me in a cycle of fear of not being well.
Right. Oh my gosh, you didn't enough greens?
I didn't drink 8 cups of water, you know, or whatever it was.
Right.
I used to have supplements, and I would say, okay, this one's for my prostate, this one's for my liver, this
Right.
one's for my whatever, this is for my blood pressure, this one's for my endorphins, this one's for my whatever. And so I had this whole system of beliefs around these little pills, and that's what I'm talking about. Looking out, there's something outside of me that's going to make me happy or make me healthy or make me what. When I'm in a place of total surrender, if there's if something seems to be amiss in my body, I say, okay, there's a purpose for that, and whatever that purpose is, I surrender to it.
Right.
And then usually in a day or two, it becomes very obvious what the purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because somebody else has a belief about spot on your arm, or I've got a snotty nose this morning. Oh, you got a cold and you got this and that. No, I just got a snotty nose. I know how to blow my nose. Mm-hmm. But it's and I just tell people I don't pay any attention to these things. Right. Now, before I woke up, those things were telling me things about myself, like the stiff neck.
Yes.
And so when I'm working with people, if they have something that's consistently appearing, mm-hmm. I help them go inside and find out what that's saying to them. And it's always about a deeper level of surrender, letting go of the idea I can control anything. And so in divine health, it's basically my dependence isn't upon anything outside of me to keep me healthy.
Right.
Now, some people say, well, you eat all that fresh fruit and you drink that raw cow's milk, and well, yeah, I like that stuff. But I don't like kale. I don't like the taste of kale. And it was, some people say, oh, I'm going to come and I'm going to make you this big kale pie. I said, no, well, don't make it for me. Make it for somebody else or yourself, because I don't like kale. It's bitter. I don't like bitter things. Sometimes I like lemon in my tea or something.
Right.
Lemonade, but I usually put some kind of sweetener in. So it's not. But and I understand that if somebody believes that if they eat a certain thing, it's really going to make them sick or hurt them in some way, I say, okay, well, don't do that.
Right.
You're not. If it's that important to you, it's okay. But people that are awake from the dream that I know of here in the family, they have, some of them started out vegetarians and some of them vegans and some, and now they say that's the fooey with that. I don't like your meatloaf, or I like your whatever, So we've all kind of just let go of that whole looking outside of myself to stay healthy.
Right.
So I tell somebody, if you eat meatloaf and you feel sick, don't eat it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that sense of, you can call it trust, that everything is, okay. Right? That health comes naturally. It's not something outside yourself. Like, that's my philosophy, is that we were born, we were given these bodies. We were given everything. I don't know how it works. Yeah. Right? I don't know how I breathe or my heart goes or anything. So health is just natural. Right. So as long as I just allow myself to be present to life, then everything works fine.
Yeah, it functions well. And I took a spill a month ago, mm-hmm. that everybody thought I fractured my hip because I fell off this ladder and right on my butt.
Right.
I felt it. It didn't feel good.
Right.
I got up. I said, okay, well, I guess I need to secure the ladder. And they're saying, huh? You need to? No, I don't. I'm not worried about it. I want to finish whatever I'm doing. And so I don't, I opened the door on my foot. Yeah. And it took a big chunk of skin off my big toe.
Okay.
And, I didn't put any kind of alcohol or mercure foam or protection on it. I did wrap it up so it didn't bleed all over the place. I wrapped a napkin around it, put some tape on it so it wouldn't bleed all over the place.
Right.
And I just went on my merry way, and now it's
almost healed.
Almost healed, yeah. And so people look at that and they say, "Oh." And for a long time, I'd have friends come over and they say, "Oh, don't get too close. I got a cold." I said, "Well,
I forgot that one.
I don't care.
Right.
Give me a big hug and kiss."
Right.
But see, this whole thing about health is based on, like religion, it's based on fear.
Yeah.
And it's based on things we're taught that keep us in fear. Mm-hmm. And all of duality, everything that's in the dream, is the glue that holds it together is fear. And so when we remove all the fear, there's nothing outside of me that can hurt me.
Well, the idea that came to me a couple of days ago, just, arrived was you've experienced a hangover in the past, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And I was saying, so it just, and I was like, so when you have a hangover, you naturally expect you're going to get over the hangover, right? Mm-hmm. People know they're going to have their head hurt, they're going to be dehydrated, but they expect to get over the hangover. So I was like, what if they could just decide that everything before this moment in time was like a hangover, right? Mm-hmm. And that they literally could expect to wake up from it, right? Instead of expecting that they're never it's going to continue on. But they don't it's a different expectation. Yeah. So if they just start to expect that life could be new again, that they're just going to get over it in a few hours, it would open a whole new door for them.
Well, and I use the analogy of dreaming at night. I say, okay, when you're having dreaming in your sleep and you're dreaming, and you wake up, the dream disappears, and everything that was happening in the dream disappears.
Right.
So if a lion was chasing you through the jungle, you wake up and there's no lion. There's no jungle, there's nothing there. Or if, somebody's chasing you with a knife, or if you're having a wonderful, happy dream, you still wake up and the dream's not there anymore.
Right.
And so when I wake up from the dream, I realize that I come back into this body and I'm in this state of consciousness in this dream, but I'm not attached to anything in it. And I was talking to a woman that I've been working with, and I picture of her scene right there. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, that's how it is when you first wake up, because you open your eyes and there's nothing there.
Right.
And then very, very gently you come back to this awareness that there's something there, but you don't get attached to it. I can enjoy the beauty of those flowers and all this nature around me. I can enjoy that while I'm here in this body. And at some time, I'm just going to take this body off like I would this T-shirt and go back into the all or whatever, the allness. I call it the allness. Back into the one thing. And so... and sometimes that sounds pretty inviting.
Well, so what about today is being December 21st, and so it's solstice, winter, summer solstice, wherever you are in the year, and it's Yule. Does that mean anything when you're awake from the dream, or is it just another day?
Just another day. Every day is just I wake up. Oh, in fact, for the last 3 days, I didn't know what day it was, and this woman that I'm taking to the bus station on Saturday, I told her, well, Thursday we can go buy your ticket, because they don't open the ticket counter early in the morning, and you can take an early bus. And that was yesterday. And I woke up this morning, and she said, it's Thursday, we're going? Oh, is it? I had to look at the calendar. I keep a little calendar on my laptop here so I can check it, see what day it is, and what the date is, Oh, it's the 21st. Oh, it's Thursday. Okay. And so Saturday, okay, the 23rd, is Saturday, okay. And so, every day's the same.
Right.
I was asked to play Santa Claus at a social.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
And so I don't really want to play Santa Claus. At a social event with a bunch of people I don't know, and go around pretending something. The whole thing about Santa Claus was a lie. There was no Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus. Why would I want to pretend there is one to these young kids?
Now, what if it's just in some people's dreams that there was Santa Claus? Don't they get to have that in their dream? And you have it not in your dream? Or is it?
Well, they can celebrate Santa Claus and do all that stuff without me.
Right.
I'm not judging them for that, and those kids will have fun,
right,
or whatever. But I don't want to participate in that.
Totally fair. What I'm asking is, you said there is no Santa Claus, right? So can somebody, as you're awake from the dream, can someone else be awake from the dream but have Santa Claus in the dream?
Well, when you wake up from the dream, everything that's a lie, you automatically know this is a lie, so you don't attach yourself to it.
Okay, there you go.
There's many well-meaning spiritual people that celebrate Christmas, and I get tons of Facebook things saying "Merry Christmas," and little videos and all that stuff, and I say thank you, and I don't say, I don't celebrate Christmas. Bah humbug.
Right.
I say thank you very much, and I return your wishes or something.
Right.
Yeah. You have a Merry Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. If that's what you want to do, and that's what you believe in, it's fine. But I don't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
I don't put up Christmas lights. I don't buy a Christmas tree. I don't give presents.
You've got trees all around you.
Yeah. And I told my family that way back in the 90s. I'm not doing Christmas anymore.
Right.
So don't send me any gifts and don't expect any. I'm not making a shopping list of who. And at that time, I was living with a woman that had 5 children, and I had 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I would do is I would take them out after Christmas, after the New Year, and each one do something very special. And that, it's not that I owe you this. It's not an obligation. This isn't a Christmas present. This is because I love you and I want to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
And so I've separated giving from this obligatory thing that this is reality. I mean, how many socks or pairs or ties or stockings or does anybody need her? How many pairs of shoes or whatever,
Right.
And people go out and buy a bunch of stuff, and the lines at the return line is greater than the ones that people buying.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just don't participate in any of that. And it's fine if everybody wants to.
No, but you believe in giving because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You give your services, you give your being, you give however.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for me, I look at the idea of Christmas is the idea of it is every day. Like that concept that people should just give, like it shouldn't be a should. It's natural to want to give and to be willing to receive what's presented. It's every day, right? And the idea that the story has that it's all just one day is, it's the way it is. The consensus reality.
Like all these other holidays, every day is the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Every day is the Day of Independence. Every country has a different. If they're a free country, but here's the September 15th. It's Independence Day, Costa Rica, but every day is a day to be free.
Right. So true. Every day is a day to be free and to be able to give what you want to give in any way.
Yeah. And this whole thing about giving isn't I'm obligated to give anything.
No.
Because if I give out an obligation, I'm not giving.
Yeah, and that's when
I'm giving to get something.
Yes. And that comes from
giving. Yeah, so if I want to give you a big hug and kiss because I'm hoping you'll love me,
I love you.
Then my hug and kiss are really a string. I'm saying, here's a string, let me tie it onto your hand and I'll drag you in. Whereas if I just say, I love you,
right,
with no strings attached, whether you love me or not. See,
exactly.
Giving doesn't depend on who the recipient is or their reaction to what the gift is.
Yeah. And I think you're right on when you say there's a lot of people that give because they think they should give, and especially even at this time of year, whether they're giving and they're going and buying presents because they think they're supposed to, or they're giving in community because they think that's a better thing to do, but they're doing it out of a sense of obligation or being in the consensus reality versus just wanting to from the heart.
Yeah. Or being guided to. It's all about being guided.
Keyword, being guided to give. And that's true because there are people that I will say that you shared before, walking by someone on the street, and that you just get the thought, I need to give them that money, right? And you just do it because you're used to trusting what you receive because you're always taken care of. So you surrender to it.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I've done that. I've been walking down the street and see somebody that was, and just had that guy, that inner calling to say, give that guy $20. And you walk over and give it to them and say, thank you, bye. And they're, wait. I say, what? This is the kindest thing I've ever done. Well, I did it because I was guided to do it. You needed that money, so bye, have fun with it. Take care of yourself. But you don't I had one guy say, you don't realize that I was waiting here, and it was out in front of some kind of pharmacy, wondering how I was going to buy something that my mother needed or something. Okay. So there's this freedom of just being guided, this inner guide, and it's a knowing, and every day is a great day to die, and every day is a great day to give, and every day is a great day to be free. And so I don't, and if somebody doesn't like what I do or who I am or what they think I am, I don't care about it. I don't take any of it personally. I don't take anything personally. It's because there's really no person here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I just made a post on my timeline about that. You know, through the process of taking off the layers of personal conditioning, human conditioning, so that only the divine is left. Of course, I get a lot of controversy on that one too. And that's fine. I love stirring the pot up out there.
Well, if you know, that's kind of your mischievous sense about you, Don.
Yeah. Well, I think the divine himself has a great sense of humor.
Absolutely. Oh, he has to. Look at all the things that are going on, right?
Yeah. Well, there's that picture, you know, God's creating the heavens and the earth, and he's got a little jar. It's called asshole.
I haven't heard this one.
And so, you know, in the picture, he's gonna, you know, it's kind of like a salt shaker. He's gonna put a few assholes in the whole mix, and the lid comes off the shaker, and all the assholes fall out on the earth. He says, "Oh, oh well."
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't heard that one.
It takes every kind of thing in the world, and everything that comes up in our life is really to bring us to a point of surrender. Even problems, even, you know, stress, even family things, you know, even losses, they're to bring us to a place of surrender. And when we surrender, then there's nothing to lose. You know, there's really nothing to lose. And you know, if a loved one dies, it's really, you're in a better place.
Right.
And I send them off with love, and you know, we're back in the office, we're back in the homes.
Yeah. So the idea is to let go of expectation and control, and I'll just be present to when you receive an idea, and then act on that idea. And really, that's all we need to do.
Yeah. Well, it's also being very open to receive. Yeah. Because somebody offers me something, whatever it is, like this place to live. If I was saying, "Oh no, I can't do that because I can't pay for it," or whatever, or it's too much, or whatever, then I'm blocking them from the divine abundance in their life. So you know, we're in a great place here, and it's, you know, the divine provided it, and you know, we were looking at other places, you know, knocking on other doors, and nothing opened, and all of a sudden this one opened. So, okay, we just go with the flow, follow the invitation, receive the gift, and being here, it gives me this opportunity to function and to actually have more people stay here and do more work, and so they can be free.
Right. It's a lot more fun, isn't it, when you can trust that the divine really knows exactly what you need and when you need it, and you just let go and let it happen. Yeah,
just be in the flow. There was a woman I knew on Facebook 4 or 5 years ago when I lived in the Southern Zone, and I knew exactly how she got back in touch with me, so she came up for a weekend. Really got what she was looking for. That's awesome.
Well, I have had little teeny ideas to come visit you yet, but not the big idea that lands that I get that says yes, go. So I know it's coming one day, just has yet to arrive. So, but I'll look forward to coming down there and enjoying all your abundance in Costa Rica.
Okay, we're good. Well, you're always welcome.
Can always come up here to PEI. It's really nice and cold right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, this is perfect weather for me. I mean, cold at night, you know, you snuggle up under a blanket, and then during the day, I'm in my shorts and my t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Not sweaty. Not, so it's all good.
Awesome. Well, okay. I'm glad we got this time together, and you just keep doing what you're doing, being you, because I'm not going to give you any labels because you're just awesome the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank you for sharing, because I believe your contribution to Discern is a great help for many to see that there's so much more out there when they wake up.
Good. Okay. Almost say goodbye.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Big hugs. Big cyber hugs.